The world is about to get a lot hairier. Let's talk about it. So I just saw this video. It's fascinating. I'll link it below. And this creator is talking about 2025 hair trends, like how we're going to be seeing more subtle bleaches, and also how there's probably going to be an increase in people doing pixie cuts in the future, like in the coming time. Just because if you want to do like a more dramatic look, it's going to be less expensive just to chop it all off because we don't know what's going to be coming in and out of the country. Somebody in the comments is also like, yeah, it's giving recession hair. She also said it's giving protest hair too, as what genders like as a reclamation of somebody's gender. And I'm like, true. And then it got me thinking, okay, when it comes to gender, a big signifier of gender in now all over the world is the idea of hairiness or hairlessness. Listen, one thing about me, I'm a fuzzy girl. And the concept of like, oh, and I recognize it's giving a PDF file, how so many men throughout history are just like, ooh, we love a hairless little baby. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We love a hairless little baby. And then it got me thinking, when it comes to like razors and like waxing products or hair removal products in general, what is that going to look like globally? Like how much is the US importing and or exporting? And so I'm going to start with what we are getting sent to us. Let's just read what's right up top. According to data from U.S. Customs and Border Protection, a total of razor blades imported into the United States in 2023 is estimated to be approximately $1 billion with a B dollars, accounting for only 22% of the U.S. razor blade market scale. China is the main country of origin for razor blade imports to the United States. I'm sorry, isn't China one of the countries that's being affected by these nonsensical tariffs? So that's probably going to be affected now, isn't it? So, but then it also got me thinking, okay, well, hypothetically speaking, because every now and then, like you're walking through a CVS or wherever else is around, and it's like, oh, okay, well, I wonder what, like sometimes you see stuff that's made in the United States, to which I'm like, okay, so we make some of these. Yeah, we're selling them amongst ourselves, some of them. But like where, oh, one second. That was a spooky. I don't know where that went. But okay, so like where are the other ones going? Where are we sending some of our razors? And in this data report, we're just gonna look right up here. 40% go to Canada and then 30% go to Mexico. Two countries that, because of these, once again, nonsensical tariffs, are like, you know what? Maybe we don't need to be doing so much trade with the United States. And it would not surprise me if, as an act of protest, some people saw this information and said, you know what? Not only do we not need to be doing this kind of trade with the United States, we don't need to be participating in this at all. I can be whatever gender I want with hair. Now, mind you, this is a thing that's already been happening, but I think now, and this was already a political stance that people had. And I think that it's going to be shown more so in global politics because this and so many other elements are connected globally and politically. In general, I see many people going au natural across the United States and maybe even across the world, depending on like what things were usually imported from the US. But like, especially when it comes to like beautification products, listen, I'm not yucking anybody's yum. If you love makeup, if you love getting your hair done, listen, I love that as a form of self-expression. And within these wild times that we're in, how we use our money is going to be incredibly important. How we choose to invest our money is going to be incredibly important. There's rolling back on the protections that people have for their student loans. Income-driven repayment plans are basically kicked out the window. That will be affecting all of us very soon. And so many other things. Eggs are like, what, $75 per shell? I don't know. So how we are going to be spending our money in these coming times, in these current times, actually, it's going to be real important. It's going to be real important. Active choices are going to have to be made. how else do I see this coming up? I am, as a black lady with some natural hair, I foresee that, oh my God, foresee, hilarious. Sorry, one second. ADHD, had to get back on track. I foresee that when it comes to beautification processes and also protective styles, it wouldn't surprise me if we start doing more community related things, like in exchange of services as it relates to our natural hair. When it comes to perms, when it comes to processes that take more chemicals, more time, especially with like the amount of carcinogens that people have been talking about that have been in perms long in like history. Like I think there's going to be an exchange of services. Like, oh, okay, you braid my hair, I'll retwist your locks. Or, okay, we're going to keep it short. We can keep it long, but what are we going to do within these processes that can help to create not just a deeper sense of community, but also create a sense of solidarity? I got some food coming, so I'm going to make this half-baked idea as quickly as possible. So I reposted a mutual of mine on TikTok. I will try to find their video and tag them below, because she was talking about the transformations of the different iterations of the 4B movement. And one of those different iterations was talking about a moving away from traditional ideals of beauty as it relates to drawing in the male gaze. And mind you, this idea is half-baked, but I think that it is so interesting how when we think of the multi-headed hydra of patriarchy, sexism, capitalism, all of the terrors that are plaguing the not left versus right, but up versus down. I find it so interesting that some of these things we're starting to see the very obvious overlap as to how certain marginalized people are being affected by both things at the same time, and how in fighting one, you fight multiple. So for example, and when it comes to this hair conversation, if you can reclaim your hair, your beautification processes in a way that makes you feel the best, but also in a way that further invests into your community, you are automatically taking power away from certain demographics that have created systems that have power over you. Super simplified, I will not buy these razors because XYZ as it relates to these tariffs. I want to use my money in other ways. Yes, that is saying something about the tariff situation and how the US plays in this market, but something so specific. But then saying, I will take this money out of here and I will place it over here instead, give it to my neighbor, invest in after school programs and whatever. And then, oh, I'll just like do kids' hair in the neighborhood. You know what? I'm going to keep my hair short so that way I can have more time to do X, Y, Z. I'm not saying that these are the only ways to do it. I'm saying these are some examples. I find this fascinating, and I would like to hear your thoughts. Please sound off in the comments. Also, for the love of God, please stay safe out there. Oh, yeah. And for more content, head over to my Patreon. But biggest thing, stay safe out there. Oh my God, my period attacked my face.